I got my prospect shirt on because this is how scouts look when you're in spring training. You're down there.
I
You
was going
got
to
to
ask,
wear
do you like
your
pina
scout shirt.
coladas and getting caught in the rain?
Got to do it. Got to do it. So we're gonna get to it. I'm going to present this, and actually, Trevor, if you want, tell everybody what exactly you've prepared here.
Yeah, so dating back, predating PitchCon even, Nick and I showed Nick a bunch of prospects, pitching prospects. He went over them. He famously was not a massive fan of Mackenzie Gore and like DL Hall over that. He still brings it up sometimes.
I was almost right. It was right for a moment.
So we had into it for a few years, and then last year Nick said, "Hey, do you want to do this again on PitchCon?" I said, "Sure." And so we're bringing it back this year, and it's a little harder because Nick pays attention to certain prospects now.
What?
So unfortunately for him, I've decided to counteract that a little bit. So these pitchers that I put together, it's a mix of like high-end prospects who will, help in redraft leagues this year, and some long shots that Nick, I hope, has never heard of or seen, because that was the fun part for me. So we are certainly going to try to get that working and hopefully surprise Nick a little bit here.
So I'm going to have little things here and there for you. If you guys don't know, what's helped me so much with my prospect analysis has been that we have this player card now for PL Pro users, and I'm actually going to show it during this. But for those that are in AAA and sometimes in A+ ball and AFL, we are able to actually get data for their extension, for their IVB, for their velocity, for their pitch usage. And of course, the PLV, our actual ranking for how good this pitch is or not. And that helps massively when it comes to understanding the value of these guys, but really if you want to go after them aggressively for when they debut, right? For highlighting, hey, this guy's getting the call and you want him now on your fantasy team, as opposed to the wait and see that we've seen a lot. So, Trevor, please.
Yeah, one more disclaimer. All these pitchers that we're showing, they pitched in AA at least a little bit last year. So that, just figure that puts them back in AA, AAA, or even a wild card at some point this year to make the majors at some point. Just
fantastic.
Who
All
knows?
Right, so here's the first one. This is a guy named Andrew Morris.
Yeah, so Morris,
I don't know who this is.
Morris is in the Twin system. He made it to AAA last year. Spent most of the year in AA, where he had a 1.9 ERA, 25% strikeout rate, 5% walk rate. Fastballs, 93, 95, tops out at 97. So he's just kind of a guy who had some success in the upper minors. And this is not one of the ones that it's not one of the more well-known names, but certainly a guy that has had some success. And yeah.
So, okay, I'm just going to look at his mechanics really quickly here, so you guys can see. The way he's turning over, it's fine. It's very much at the end here. He's a very much of like I won't say this is a great extension guy, is my guess, because it's a lot of like back and held back and push, as opposed to, one of the momentum guys that Doug Thorburn was talking about the other day. So I'm going to watch it one more time here. And it's a big overturn, like over the top, trying to get that. And I'm actually going to surprise you here. Look at this. So we've got Andrew Morris's card here for his fastball. Aha! 6.3 feet of extension. That's low. All right. You also get a really steep arm angle, which is not a surprise here. And then 15 to 16 induced vertical break. If I see this really steep 0.3, right? You guys can see this, I think. Yeah, if you see this very steep 0.3, that means like, okay, if you're throwing upstairs with the four-seamer, that's not a good angle for the pitcher. It's a great angle for the hitter. You better have a ton of vert to counteract it, right? This means that your arm goes up here, which means you should get ride. 15 to 16 is fine. As you can kind of see, like this is kind of average. So to see low extension, low vert, bad attack angle, 94, yeah. POV likes it because he throws it in the zone. But from a stuff perspective, an overwhelming one, not a fan. What has made him so good, do you think, Trevor, in the minors so far?
Yeah, it probably just the fact that he can throw the ball around the zone. He's got a pretty good breaking ball. I believe it's a slider. So
yeah, 61% zone rate is what is making him successful, I would imagine.
Yeah, so that may not translate as well to the major leagues, but he's someone who, if you're in redraft leagues this year, maybe not right out of the gate, he's somebody who, if he does get called up, you never know what can happen.
Right, and inside the pitch movement, which is kind of interesting too, you see, I'll go back to it in a moment, but you see two different movement profiles. You see one that's more like a cutter and one more that's more of a bigger gyro. So I wonder if that's kind of different times and counts. That's a really nice pitch. That's a nice looking slider. But the
question is, how good's the fastball,
I'm not
right?
sold without that four seamer being that good. I can't buy into this. He has a changeup as well. Looks like it's for lefties. Gets it, like, location's fine, but like you can get by with location, but it's just not enough in the majors for me. So I'm going to move on here. I'm not a fan of Andrew Morris. I'm sorry. It's just not enough anymore. Okay, who is this guy? Oh, this is Andrew Painter.
This is Andrew Painter. Oh, sorry, there's sound on that one, but
that's fine. I can turn that off.
But yeah, Andrew Painter has not pitched since 2022 in a competitive baseball game, but still considered one of the top pitching prospects. Should be back, I believe they said June or July is when they're shooting for him to be in Philadelphia. Big 6'7" frame, was up touching triple digits before his injury, but we'll have to see how he comes back this year. But definitely an exciting arm. This video is from 2022, so we're in the time capsule right now.
Okay, so he actually he came back in the AFL.
Yeah.
And this year, and what's actually really cool is that we do have a game app for the AFL. We have AFL data. So I actually took a look at it. And I was unimpressed from just what the data is. Again, as you mentioned, just came back. So we don't really know if that data is really indicative of what we'll see this year. He's a sitter. And what I mean by a sitter, guys, look how his body goes down this way. He like squats down to the left, right? As opposed to keeping more straight. He sits back, kind of like Chris Stavinsky in that way.
The first time we did this, Casey Mize was the sitter.
Oh, yes. He is a sitter. That's right. So it's over the top a lot, it looks like. So that means that you should be getting a ton of ride on the four-seamer. That's what I would want to see. And then I would want to see a lot of drop on top of it. Generally, when you're a sitter, though, you're not an extension guy because you're behind a little, right? Your front shoulder isn't going in front, and then you're pushing forward, right? The bigger extension guys are the ones that are leading with that front shoulder more. No surprise, really. And when you sit, it's just not as good for that. So that was really the thing about it for Andrew Painter to me, is that the four-seamer wasn't this overpowering pitch. And I talked to James Anderson about it, and it was more of it was more about his control, and his command was what the thing was, but it really wasn't there, of course, in AFL because it's, the AFL. So I don't know. I'm not as hyped about Andrew Painter as others are, just because he's been a big name for a while, I think. I'm curious to see what the early data is this year. Why? So tell us why you're more excited about Andrew Painter.
You love the stuff. I love the pitch mix, and if he comes back looking like he did prior to the injury, which I know it's been a couple of years, save for the AFL appearance, he looks like he's going to be mid to top of rotation guy. I mean, I know you mentioned extension, he's 6'7", so poor extension for him is great extension for me at 5'11". So I think that there's a lot there, and I think it may be a slower walk. Like when he comes back, it might not be the best, but I wouldn't panic. I think that he's a very talented pitcher and somebody who, me personally, I'd be interested in any format of fantasy baseball this year.
Oh, well, all right. I actually finally have this game feed app loading, so I'm going to actually grab this really quickly. And I got to get it. What were the games that Andrew Painter pitched? So AFL game log. What we got?
Weirdly enough, 6'7", not the tallest pitcher we're going to watch today.
What? That's ridiculous. Okay. Man, where is this game log from AFL? What games? All right. Tuesday afternoon. So I'm going to assume it was the 11th or the 12th of November. Tuesday afternoon. Okay, 12th. Good. So I'm going to show you guys this app right now. This is live pitcher speed. This has everything Any game. Oh, one fell. It has every game that you would want, and it's loading it right now because it's a ton of data. But no game started. Okay, there we go. We got it. Oh, it was right there. It was right there, and it just went away. Oh gosh. All right. So Andrew Painter, beautiful. I should have each of his stuff here. So this is the game that he went in AFL, and we have our own PLV stuff, of course. Now that PLV stuff is saying 110, 111. So that's honestly better than I expected, just because like really steep arm angle, 6 feet of extension, and only 15 IVB. But I guess the 95, 98, 96 is just saying it's enough. That's interesting. I gotta talk to Kyle about this one. And then curveball, it looks like we like the stuff of it. But yeah, this is how you get this data, guys. This is a PL Pro app, super helpful. It just gives you this extra leg up on everybody else when trying to study these guys. Okay, let's trust Trevor Hooth, though. We're going to go to our next guy. And who do we have here? We've got, this is Brandon. Oh boy, Brandon Sprout.
Sprout. Yep.
Okay, fastball in there, strike one. I dig this.
So I spent a lot of the year in AA, but did reach AAA by the end of last year.
Okay.
AAA stats aren't as fun and polished, but a 33% strikeout rate in AA.
That's a slider that backed up on him.
Yeah. So a guy he made a AAA.
Look at this guy.
He may wind up. So.
Okay, this is a really good wind up. Very good and straight, and then you can see that his shoulder turns in. Unlike the sitters, he goes forward on it. Right? He's getting out there. It's very good and straight, good momentum. I'm going to start using that more because of I dig that. It's just very clean and good forward. I love it. Great delivery. And beautiful breaking ball, of course, down and away. Gets the ball. It looked like a sinker coming inside there. Dig that to her inside or righty. Yeah, Sprout's pretty cool. This is cool.
Upper 90s fastball. I think he's touched 100.
Is that right? Upper? I mean, that was a terrible curveball. He's trying to get in there for a strike. Just get a fastball in there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Woo! All right. What data do we have in this guy? What do we got? Give me some Sprout.
This data thing's a new aspect. It used to just be Nick watches like 3 at bats and tells us what he thinks, which isn't.
Yeah, right.
Recommended.
Data. Oh no, it's actually same extension as Painter at 6.3, but he is 96, 97. Okay. It's an average attack angle, so we're just going to ignore that. Wow, we just blew it by him. It is a new thing. His vert is very low, 12.5. And with arm side break. So he's essentially throwing a sinker here at 96, 97. If you think of it like that, then it's all about what the secondaries do on top of it. This is what I'm looking at right now for Brandon Sprout, which is interesting. And he's not really going the high fastball route, which I think is probably right for this, because this would fall back down into the bat. But I like the delivery a lot. And I feel like he has multiple pitches. He's got a cutter in here too and a slider. Ooh, okay. I imagine the command is pretty good on this stuff, isn't it, Trevor?
On the season, it was a 9.1% walk rate. It was 6.5 in AA.
Okay. 9.1. I mean, this changeup's got to be better, buddy. Come on. The slider actually looks like a slider, and the curveball are not utilized that much, but that's good. Oh yeah, good PLV on this one. 5.27. We love to see that. And then the curveball. Hopefully this is. So he's trying to get this one constantly. He messes this one up. These are some of the ones that we saw. Yeah, I dig this with the velocity. I am a little worried that the four-seamer isn't as... this is a little worrisome with these two. But, I mean, this velocity is obviously great. And if he's able to work in the slider a lot more and have the change of location going. I mean, really, this cutter, too, is this like an aggressive... This is just a strike pitch. But then again, I like these strike pitches. Just don't throw it in the middle. This is fun. Would you say that like the second the Sprout comes up, you're adding him in a 12-teamer?
I don't know. I kind of want to see him come back in AAA and have more, because in AAA his strikeout went down, way down. It was like 6.5 or something per 9. Like, it wasn't great after putting nearly 12. So I think I want to see him have success in AAA. And if he does, if he gets that strikeout rate back up, then yeah, I think I would. Just his stuff, I think, will play. It's just a matter of can he use it to get whiffs.
Yeah, it does seem like he's a major league pitcher. It's more about, okay, is this something that is demonstrably effective for your fantasy teams? And I don't quite know yet.
Yeah,
but yeah, he's going to be in that rotation for the Mets. That just seems like an obvious one. But is it top of the line? I don't know yet. That's a fun one. Okay, cool. Who do we got next? Oh my gosh, it's Bubba Chandler.
Yeah, Bubba Chandler's fun. He's probably, in terms of prospects, SP3 for who I would want in redraft leagues this year, behind Jackson Jobe and Roki. I mean, he's absolutely insane.
That was
yeah.
He dots, right? He's a command guy.
So, fastballs in the upper 90s is a really, really good fastball. Played AA, AAA, close to 120 innings, a 30% strikeout rate. So he's getting whiffs. He's got a really good fastball. I think he should be up sooner than later. I am a huge fan of Bubba Chandler heading into this next season.
So he has that, Oh, look at that swing of like, oh no, I thought it'd be off speed. What's interesting is I see this a lot. I see the guys that are open and then they come back and close. And I always wonder, like, why don't you just start here? Why do you open then close? I don't know. That's always been a weird thing to me. If I'm going to do a windup, I'm going to always just do it. I'm going to do a windup, that move. Yeah.
Works for him.
I mean, now he's just pumping in heaters. That's fine. I would love to see a changeup or something to a lefty, but let's see what we get here.
I say he should have one here soon. It was very fastball heavy every time I would.
Oh man. I mean, I like his delivery a lot because it's creating a lot of consistency. We're not seeing these big misses. Like, that's great. Lack of big misses, guys, is a huge sign of,
there we go.
That's a slider. Yeah, that's good stuff. Bubba Chandler is pretty dang good. I'm going to let you guys go get Peel Pro to find out more about Bubba Chandler. I'm not really going to share those anymore because it's just no fun anymore. But Bubba Chandler to me is, I don't think the Pirates are going to promote him like they did Jared Jones last year. But second he comes up, he should be added to your teams. That's simple, guys. Okay, cool.
I agree.
Cade Horton. I have not been a fan of Cade Horton.
Yes. I mean, his thing, he missed a lot of this year. His velocity was down. He had his lat strain. So it depends on how he comes back. But, the strikeout rates were nice before he got hurt. And he was a hyped up pitcher. So it really just depends on how he comes back. Because he could be helping his rotation as, this year.
Yeah, it's he's still in recovery right now. Low extension guy. And I mean, that's obviously a very good breaking ball. I think that's the thing that's getting everyone excited, is that breaker. That was an 84 mile per hour curve, I assume. And to see that hard of a curve is cool. I guess a slider because it was 84 there on the changeup. Schedule change, yes, guys. 2 p.m. is Eric Samolsky. It's
so
all
sorry
me,
you logged on to see me.
Totally my fault. All right. I mean, yeah, I get it. Okay, good. We have another Kramer. No, that's just the next guy. I'm just being stupid.
Just the next guy. Next one's fun.
I think with Cade Horton, it's not as explosive of a fastball, which always worries me. And I think he's fine. Like, he's a fine pitcher, but it's not there's more that's going to be needed from him to be successful consistently in the majors. I feel like that breaking ball is good. It's just not quite overwhelming. And there's going to be time for him to recover and everything like that. The good news is I talked to Tyone about Cade Horton last year, and he was really excited about him because his mental makeup is great of just, I want to get better. I want to do all the right things. I want to really be prepared. I know I can, there's always things to learn and do and be focused on that. So that's a good thing. But I'd say in the short term, I'm a little hesitant on Cade Horton.
So here's a fun one. Chase DeLander.
Oh my God. I know, but he's in the Rockies, man.
Right. So there's your question. If he has really good stuff and would be a pitcher that most people would want to know about, but
Don't
since
care.
he plays for Colorado,
don't care.
Is his stuff good enough?
No. It's too much. You already have the shag rug. Okay. The young man's floor, right? Rookie already has a lower floor than everybody else because you're just not ready to make all the adjustments that everyone else is. It's a hanger. And then you have Colorado involved in it. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't do it, Chase. You throw really hard though, and that's pretty cool. This is a really good camera angle. I love it. Wow, I don't see this. I don't see like the 3.5. You know, I see this at times when people like do whip. It's like 1.223. I'm like, why? We don't care about the going one more decimal over is always interesting to me. All right. What do you got, Chase? Slider here? No, fastball just beating him. And the thing is, that's not like 100. That's 95, 96. In like what would feel like a gassed up 2-strike pitch, right? Does he really throw 100?
He has in the past. I mean,
okay. All right. Down with decimals. They had 0 position. Or are you down with them or are you down on them? Gotcha. Sport. You taught me the whole thing about 23% as opposed to 23.4%. And you were so right about it. Oh, that's good. I mean, that was at 76. As far as I haven't really been focusing enough on the mechanics so far. So let me just take another look.
I mean, I'm with you. I don't usually like to go after Colorado pitchers for fantasy purposes, but it's fun stuff.
He's this delivery is nice though. I want to go to a fastball though. Okay. Reminds me of Garrett Cole a little. Just even like the look here, not here. The look over like right up to here. Like this looks like Garrett Cole to me. Even like right here. Oh man, if I told you this was Garrett Cole, everyone would believe me. Like everyone would say, yes, that is Garrett Cole. Right? I didn't see like the nasty gyro slider in this. And also, of course, fastballs perform worse in cores. So there's something to be said about that.
Garrett Cole in cores. Right. What do you think?
Do I think he's going to work in cores?
Garrett Cole in cores basically is what you're saying. That's what I'm hearing from you, Nick.
Okay, Trevor. I think you need better ears.
Chase Petty.
Chase Petty, yes, of the Reds.
Yes.
Always get him and Connor Phillips confused. Chase Petty's the younger one, right?
Yes.
Or the one, the less experienced one.
Petty was pre-draft hitting like triple digits and then came into pro ball, became a sinker slider guy and was in the lower 90s and all of a sudden back in the mid-ish 90s with a 4-seam this year. Still has the sinker slider. I saw him in his high A debut and I absolutely loved him. I mean, he was very raw at the time. Like he still had to refine a lot of things, but he's taking a big jump and should be ready to help Cincy this year. But again, Great American Ballpark. So
I remember, I mean, why would he go to become a sinker slider guy? I don't understand that. I remember actually, I think one of his friends messaged me because I mentioned Chase Petty somewhere in like, I think last year or the year before, and just like reviewing the Red system. And he was just like, oh man, I'm just so excited to see him in this situation. Oh my gosh, I hope he does well.
This guy I've always really liked coming through the system.
He's wrapping around that one.
Not there.
Yeah, no, of course. Everyone has bad pitches. It's all right. So, I mean, the delivery is Aaron Nola-esque. Just like you see like the lower, you see how low he is with this big back foot. This is actually David Cohn thing. But because of this, he's going to be coming with a lower arm slot. And this is Aaron Nola follow through, definitely. Just think of it in this way. So that makes more sense to the sinker slider because he just had the lower arm slot. But is he back up to the velocity? Is that there?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, absolutely it is. I think he's throwing harder, throwing his 4-seam again, and it really helped him. I mean, he had He had a good year, if I recall. I don't remember his numbers offhand, but he slowly climbed, and he ended up in AAA, kind of knocking on the door of Cincinnati by the end of last season.
But yeah, I mean, I think the Reds have a lot of options right now. I wouldn't really be going after Chase Pettingberry. Curious if it is sinker slider, if it really is turning into four seamer stuff. Yeah, this isn't. I'm not really seeing. I'm not like blown away, but then again, like the bad breaking ball stuff is obviously in the way of this. It's really hard to tell if this is like I don't have velocity readings on this.
Mm-hmm.
I do love like that it looks like Aaron Nola though. I gotta say, that always will have a soft spot for me. All right, we're gonna go on here. We have Iberson Castellano. No idea.
Rule 5 pick. Rule 5 pick. So he is a complete long shot, but he's very fun, and Matt Heckman loves him, the dynasty manager. So he got to AA only through about 40 innings, but a 30% strikeout rate there. He has a good fastball, nice breaking ball changeup, a lot of potential. But the question is, does he make the Twins? Is who he plays for now. Does he make the Twins out of camp? And if he does, as a Rule 5 pick, he's probably a reliever type. But you never know what can happen. And if he comes out and looks very polished, whatever, he might be able to contend. Who knows? But high upside Rule 5 pick that the Twins made.
Yeah, so he's also sending a been flying off to the left, or as Doug Thorburn would say, the flail, which I'm not in love with right now, and doesn't really speak to both consistency and to. I mean, so it's actually always easier when it's a curveball because you don't actually go full max in the same way. But if you see a fastball coming, you'll see the flail probably more so. Change up there. This is Iberson Castellano, Rule 5 pick with the Twins. Paul Sporer. Iberson Castellano.
Again, he probably just a reliever this year if he makes the team. But
I'm not seeing much that is exceptional here. Not loving this.
This is one of the ones that I put in just so Nick sees someone new in front of everybody.
Yeah, no. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I'm excited for this. This is Emilio Teodo. Teodo,
yep.
The Rangers.
Yeah, he throws hard.
Woo! Woo! There's him, and there's a couple guys in the Rangers that are just like, what?
There are. Yeah, they have the top end of their pitching is pretty good.
This doesn't like my quick take is like this is I don't know. I'm just gonna see the data, but I could just be so wrong on this. Like how he's releasing it, the ball is being released far behind him as opposed to further in front of him. So it's lower extension. But and he just throws that thing. Jeez.
Yeah, it's triple digits with the fastball. Has a solid slider. Just huge walk rates. I mean, there's a lot of reliever risk here. Just because he walks a lot of guys, his command's a little off. Stuff is
with how fast the twitch arm is to get his velocity. Like it's much more arm than it is lower body, as it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
It's just it's just like bam. It's like okay. It doesn't surprise me a ton of that walk rate.
Mm-hmm.
But oh boy.
So does he remain a starter? I think is the big question. And
I would say, the speed. Look at the speed of everything before even the arm goes. Like up, down, from. I would say if he slows that down a little, it might help him. Just getting a little bit more as opposed to okay. I don't know. So my head goes. Also, the way that he's pushing down really far on his so the back circle. What I mean by the back circle, so like he goes from the set with the glove, and then how far he goes down. Here, I'll do it like this. I don't care. He's here, and then on delivery, he's going all the way down so that his arm is pretty much straight as he goes back. A lot of guys, they do like the shorter one. They come back out with their elbow this way, right? He's going so far down, and when you have such a long arm circle like that, it means that there's more distance to travel in a smaller amount of time, right? In the same amount of time. So the larger distance you have to travel essentially means you have more variability from point A to point B, which explains it a lot. I would probably try and get him to shorten up the arm circle and not push straight down below his waist. We've seen that a lot from a lot of guys. Like Giolito is, and Giolito is one of the perfect examples of this, of him changing that, and it became a huge thing. Glasnow, but you see how far down it goes past his hamstring. That might be part of the what could help him a bit.
Live arm though, and those are fun.
Oh gosh, that's so sick. When that works, it's just no way. Oh, Teodo. Okay, so when he comes up, I mean, I think you got to pay attention when Emiliano Teodo comes up. George Klassen came over from the Phillies to the Angels.
I'm so proud,
some
Nick.
random trade. I don't remember which one.
Came over with Sam Aldegari. Yeah.
Aldegari. Yes.
Aldegari. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah.
I'm assuming it's Aldegari. I don't know. I just call him Aldegari. This is very slow. This is, oh my gosh, just seeing this after like Teodo is hilarious.
Well, big strikeout rate over last season. He got to AA after the trade through about 28 innings there, but 35% strikeout rate on the season. That includes, his time before that. But it's fun stuff. Again, really good pitch mix, and who knows? The Angels are very aggressive with their prospects.
You're gonna laugh at this, but literally watching this delivery, I'm like, who am I thinking of? And there's no way this is the guy. And I'm like, no, I'm seeing legitimately. It looks like it's Jared Weaver. I know it sounds weird, but like, look at this delivery of like that. Just reminds me of Jared Weaver. The way that at this point when he's back like that, it just looks like Jared Weaver.
I could see it. I'm with it.
I don't hate it. I mean, obviously, I know like all of his numbers and everything like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the Angels, which is just the worst thing ever. Who is the Rockies' best pitcher of all time? Ubaldo Jimenez. It's got to be. It's got to be.
For a stretch, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about peaks, I guess. But for like longevity, Herman Marquez, maybe you could say. I don't know.
That's a good question.
Mike Hampton. Oh gosh. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't feel as overwhelmed as I have with other guys. I mean, I'm sure data is going to help one way or another, and this is just a very small sample. Maybe it's a camera angle. I don't know. It just seems like that's a pitcher.
Camera angles matter.
Average, not
for
like
sure.
I was not wowed there. Oh boy. Oh boy. Guess what we got here, guys? We got some Job. I mean, we could probably not do Job just because we've already seen him a bit, but then again, this is as a starter as opposed to a reliever. Oh man, that looks so nice. That's a great camera angle too. And huge props to Trevor Hooth, guys, for preparing this video. Like seriously, you just recorded this stuff, I assume. To do this for all these guys is just amazing. So how excited for Job are you?
I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, he's so much fun. I can't wait to see him just stretched out full season in Detroit. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I mean, also, guys, you can really see from this camera angle. Notice just how straight everything is and how nothing like goes outside of this. It's just straight to the ball, right? He's not flailing this way on that fastball. He's going straight to it. Like he's still there. There's that leg kick over, but that's fine. It's his body's right there. His back is still flat and straight. That is what makes him so good. And that's what has made me so high on him, is that all this stuff, that's a cutter. All this
crazy
stuff is just like from that and then adjusts off of it. That's how you should be pitching. That's the momentum that Thorburns talking about. That I love. That. What? Okay, 2-1. There you go. Thank you so much. Fastball again. Okay, man. I also think that Job was done dirty as a reliever, just because. Oh my God! What? Wow! You've given up on that. Then bam! That looks so nice. This is such a good camera angle. Oh my God! Again, perfect. Oh no! Do we have? Is that it? Is that the last one?
That's it. It's only a couple batters per pitcher.
You guys get it.
We could have just done a whole start from him for the whole hour.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so obviously, like the the extension is actually low. It's 6 feet, and the velocity wasn't absurd as a reliever and everything. Like I thought I was gonna get a little bit more out of Job, from his relief, but man, I imagine he's gonna be coming into camp and just blowing everyone away and just like, oh yeah, okay, you got to do it. We're at 140. Hopefully, we can get through many of these. Is there certain guys like Nick? You don't really need to watch this guy. This is Logan Henderson.
Yeah, we don't necessarily need to watch him. He just got added to the Brewers 40 and again had some good whiff numbers. So he's a guy I included.
All right, we're gonna look at this one pitch. Oh, look at his openness. He better get low on the right side then. Not really.
He's mostly fastball changeups, 2-pitch guy generally. So
oh yeah, I have no interest in
for a bullpen, but he's
I have no interest in this guy. This is unless it's like such a good fastball. Yeah, I mean it's a good changeup. That's nice.
Here's Moises Chase. He's one of my favorite guys heading into this year. I don't know about redraft, but in general, he jumped a bunch of spots for me. I really liked him.
Tell me more about him.
Yeah, he was traded from Baltimore. Young for the level, but a lot of strikeouts. He boomed right after the trade in that short sample, and he plays for the Phillies now. Phillies organization. And I love the stuff. His fastball can get up to 98. I think he can use his breaking pitch, his changeup really well. He seems to sequence well. Like almost everything about him, I was just like, wow, this is really impressive and beyond what I would have expected.
Too. So he's short too, which means that the attack angle might be really good too. He's going upstairs with intent. I want to see the breaking ball. I hope we get it here. Yep, that's a very good breaking ball. I'm a fan of this. I'm gonna look at the mechanics a little bit more now. Now he's straight, like he's not completely wild or anything too. He's not flailing aggressively. I'm a fan of this guy a lot. Oh my gosh, that's good.
And he made it to Double-A last year. He's 21.
That's the change up, and you see also the drop on this. It's straight over the top, and that really helps it with that depth too. A very consistent break to that. I liked it. Yeah, get up, hit that spot. Oh yes, big fan of Moises Chase. I like him more than Chase the Lander. There you go. Moises Chase is gonna be better than Chase the Lander. Done.
There we go. Next guy's fun.
Noah Schultz. Oh my god.
So
Noah Schultz
still hasn't walked more than 2 batters.
You have to add him instantly. I don't care what you say.
So I don't know if you saw, Nick. There was news that came out. He's now listed at 6'10", 240.
He wasn't the tallest.
Up from like 6'9", 220 last year, but still, apparently he's still growing. It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Command, great slider. I mean, he's just I'm a huge fan of Noah Schultz.
Too. He's not one of those tall guys that doesn't know how to get out there. I think also because he is lower arm angled, it helps him get. Oh my god, you can't do anything. You know, that's bonkers. Yeah, guys. The second that Noah Schultz makes his MLB debut, he has to be on your team. He just has to be. And I don't know when the White Sox are going to do that because they really have no reason to get him up before June. Like really no reason. But yeah, no, this is an absurdly legitimate pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
And this is their next Garrett Crochet. It's not even like close. It's just, oh my God. All right, I'm going to the next one. Noah Schultz is dope, guys. Parker Messick.
Parker Messick, Guardians organization. I'm probably higher on him than most people, so we don't have to watch a ton here. But so he's lefty, tops out 95. He's got a good pitch mix, and he struck out a lot of guys. It is a fun, he was famous, I think, more for striking out Chase DeLauder when they were in college still. He was pitching at Florida State and DeLauder was at James Madison, and he made him look silly with his slider. But yeah, he's in a good system for pitching, and just like strikeouts. I mean, again, strikeout rate over 30% last year. Didn't walk a detrimental amount of people. ERA in the 2s. I think he's got a chance to do something. It might be a reliever, very relieverish, I'm sure. But I don't know, just a fun arm. I thought I just wanted to sprinkle in some interesting stats and interesting guys.
I wonder how good the fastball is, but obviously he loves that curveball a ton. He reminds me a bit of Kyle Harrison right now. It's just a matter, and Carlos Rodon I'm getting a little bit too. It's interesting he scrunches. So you see he's tall now, and then he scrunches. It's scrunch. You know, and then what happens here is on the follow through. I'm trying to get this. Look at this. Look, it's a very wild follow through, if you ask me. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't think this is consistent. Let me look at this. It's good. That's a field goal he's making. Oh boy. And like he always comes over here. I think I can't really get behind that one. All right. Quinn Matthews. I've heard him
Quinn
a lot.
Matthews.
Why do we like him?
Quinn Matthews is, well, he pitched across 4 levels last year. He jumped a lot. Overall through about 140 innings or so. 2.76 ERA, lots of strikeouts, 35% strikeout rate last year. Tops out at 98, probably the best pitching prospect in the Cardinals organization at the moment. And he got to AAA last year, so he should be knocking on the door.
All right, let's watch him some more here.
Definitely one of the higher end prospects that we're going over today.
So, I mean, what's his best pitch? Is it a fastball or is it the breaking stuff?
I would say probably the fastball.
Okay. I mean, okay, you should have swung at that. Just thinking about a slider. I get it still. I mean, considering how the Cardinals rotation is weird and wonky and like what's going on, I would think they would give him a chance soon. I mean, that's a good slider.
Also has a good changeup. I mean, just again, good pitch mix.
He's a well-balanced overall pitcher who throws strikes. I get this. Quinn Matthews can certainly be an effective guy. He's like a better Mitchell Parker. Let's go with that, guys. Robbie Snelling,
not a fan.
Not a fan.
Well, this is Robbie Snelling.
Robbie Snelling. I don't think his fastball's that good.
I
mean, it went down to like low 90s, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he got a lot of hype when he first came out because he was very polished for a high school arm with San Diego. Then they traded him to Miami, and you know he may be able to threaten the rotation and may wind up in the bullpen. I don't know, but you know he had put up some good numbers at some point.
Right. So he's throwing 91 right now, and the thing is, if you're a lefty, where you're trying to get by with the fastball 91. Like I didn't see a single changeup in there. There's a curveball. Okay, I'm happy you were able to land that one in there. But like traditionally, what you're supposed to be doing here is a changeup away. And there's a curveball in there again. Or maybe it was a slider, 81, 82. And going back to a 92 mile per hour heater. I'm not seeing enough. It's interesting. These guys come by every so often where I hear like, "Oh man, that's a big name. Oh, I care about this guy." I'm like, "Okay, what is it?" And I don't know. Robbie Snelling. We just kind of move on from guys. This is Thomas Harrington, though. That Uncle Ted, if he's here right now, he's been saying so much about. He's been calling him George Kirby, which is not true at all. Not at all. But let's see here. With the Pirates, tell me more about Thomas Harrington.
Yeah, he's a guy who's on in the top 100 on most prospect lists. I mean, these are like dynasty lists, but I am not as high on him as others. His fastball's low 90s. I don't think he's gonna get the whiff rates that some of these other guys are. But he's got a kick, I think, and should have a pretty good floor in a rotation, I would think. And he had some success again, AAA. Like he did well. It's not like he's not performing. I just don't know how that translates into the counting stats that you want for fantasy purposes.
I mean, that's a good breaking ball. Absolutely. He also had the intent to go slider and curve against the lefty, which is nice. You do want to see that where it's not just like a fastball and a changeup only. There's a changeup there.
He is a good pitcher. Absolutely. He's one of those I struggle with real life versus fantasy. How do those match up? He's one of those.
He's not an overwhelming pitcher.
Yeah.
If he's sitting 95, 96, that's cool. Is he? No. Look at that slider inside. I love it. Now let's see how he sets this up. Does he go change up away? Does he go breaking down? Does he go upstairs fastball? I would love to see upstairs fastball because of the slider he just threw. Hey, try to do it. It's at 92 though. Yeah. If it's at 92 when you're trying to punch a guy out, that's enough for me to say no. Moving on.
Tink Hence.
Oh, I remember liking Tink Hence before. He kind of reminded me of almost like Tristan McKenzie, almost the way that he's small and everything. Oh man, nice change up there, Tink. Doesn't he throw like upper 90s?
Yes. Well, mid 90s mostly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I've always liked it. When I saw him live again, this was a few years ago, but it was loose arm action. I liked it a lot. Loved his changeup. I think he's kind of taken a step back in a lot of people's minds, but still, I think there's a lot here. There may be some reliever durability type concern, but certainly a guy who has the stuff to pitch at the major league level with success, I think.
Oh yeah. I think it's too fast of a motion. He's doing too much too quickly. But yeah, the way that he's leading with his it's a big wide spread of his arms here, right? Big lead with the glove, which I generally do like. And the guys who are more athletic, and he certainly has like the more athletic delivery, are able to do that and really trebuchet that over. So that's cool. I'm curious to see really how the heater works. Now it's a change of missing away. How old is he? He's really young, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's in that 21, 22 range. It should be. Well, I think he'll be. No, I think he'll be 22.
It's a good heater. I also wonder how low he is. It is over the top though, which limits that, but it does mean he has really tight spin on that breaker. It's sharp. Yeah, here comes the changeup. That's a good depth. He got that. He gets on top of it better because of his arm angle. He does it again. That's gorgeous. Yeah, I mean, I'll always be a Tink Hence fan. That's cool.
All right, I think this is our last guy. Should be Yolber Diaz.
Oh my God, camera angles. What's going on? Who's this guy? Tell me about him.
Yeah, so he's in the Diamondbacks organization. Another good fastball and a good breaking ball. He debuted last year for a little bit. It didn't go great, but he has a lot of really good stuff. And again, I think it will translate. Sometimes it just doesn't work right off the bat. But certainly a fun guy and a name I think you need to know for this year.
I actually remember writing about him last year. Let's see.
It's a rough camera angle to see this, but
the ABS system working. Big breaking ball, it looks like, right? I mean, yes. Fastball, breaking ball?
Fastball, curveball, yep.
All right. Of the guys that we've looked at here, who would you say are your favorites for redraft leagues?
Jackson Jobe, very obviously. Yep. I didn't pull any video or search for it, but Roki Sasaki is another one.
Sure, yeah.
Has to be. But for sure, Jackson Jobe. I think you also probably, Bubba Chandler is another one. He's going to be there. Andrew Painter, whenever he arrives, if you want to hold and stash him. But
I don't want to stash him though. I'm not going to do it.
I know. I think Dynasty, and Keeper. That's where my mind's usually at. So those guys are the main ones.
But you know what? How about this? I'm going to say the Moises Chase is better than Andrew Painter. That's my call.
Okay, there's his call for the year. And
that's it.
If he makes it, it was a very short stint in AA, but if he does wind up in the major, I would be all over it. I absolutely love him. I'm a big fan of his. Same thing with Noah Schultz. Like all these top prospects, a lot of them sprinkled in are just long shots. If you like them, maybe they have some good runs. But a lot of the big names, Quinn Matthews too. Like if they come up, they're guys who I am definitely interested in for redraft leagues this year.
So just to go over this guys really quickly, look at Yolber Diaz, not really a big fan. Tink Hence, yes. I'm curious to see just about control really and understanding if he's there with it, but looks like he has very much the ability to be a productive starter right out of the gate. Thomas Harrington seems more like a Toby, and that's okay, but he's not really someone that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Thomas Harrington time. Like, let's go. Robbie Stelling, I don't have any interest in. I just don't think this stuff is good enough. Quinn Matthews, I think when he gets his opportunity, he's going to be productive and helpful for you. I don't know if he's really going to be like that overwhelming of a guy. Like, will he hit a 9K per 9? Probably not, but he still should be good enough. Like a Toby, he's like a Toby floor or foundational and possibly being a Holly in your 12 teamers. Parker Messick. I mean, it was a cool curve. I feel like there's just too much volatility and too much what is
I just
going
wanted Nick
on
to see new guys.
action. Noah Schultz is just absurd. And we
Yeah.
didn't see Hogan Harris because he probably doesn't come up this year. But I mean, his Arkansas game, what was it, 17 Ks or something against Oregon State or something like that? That was insane. And I watched all of that and just like this, Hogan Harris is an absurd talent. It's just, yeah, it's going to be at least a year, I think, until we see him. You have Moises Chase. I love this guy. I think I'm with you. The really thing, just look at this, how calm he is with his delivery and how easy flowing that is straight to the glove with multiple options. It's good, guys. Moises Chase, legit. Logan Henderson, don't care. He's a Rule 5 guy with the, was it Twins, was it? Or the Brewers?
Brewers.
And it doesn't look like much to me. I'll watch him for a second more because we have another moment.
Again, he just got added to the 40-man, so it's,
yeah,
you know, take a look.
It's so funny. Also like this, you think that when you have this like this, it means you're going this way and coming back. Like you pull up sideways to go the other way, but he doesn't. He actually stays straight, which kind of then reminds me of Brady Singer.
Yeah.
How Brady Singer does his delivery. But yeah, that's just not, that's a fastball you forget. Jackson Jobe is Jackson Jobe. I mean, just like with Moises Chase, look how straight this is of just completely behind it and going toward the glove. It's so good. That's a cutter, guys. That's not the fastball. That's the cutter. Throws for a strike. This is George Klassen, who I wish we had a better camera angle for. It does seem like it's collected in his windup, which I do like. It doesn't seem, but actually, this is a very late like, but you know, sorry, sound effects. Really, you understand the sound effects.
Sound effects by Nick.
But when Klassen comes up, you definitely want to take a note. Teodo, I don't know if it's Teodo. Super exciting. It's just about control with it. It looks like a reliever. As Dave mentioned, he would be the closer right away if he came into the majors right now. But monitor this, obviously, prime talent if he's able to have more to him. This is Iverson Castellano, who is a Rule 5 play with the Twins. Maybe we see him because of that. It doesn't really look like there's much of interest to really have a large fantasy impact. Chase Petty, I'm curious to see what the velocity is, and if he is a guy that can really live in the zone a ton. I love him. I love the look of like Aaron Nola. If he's a command guy around the edges with this could work. But as of right now, especially with the situation in Cincinnati, I wouldn't touch it. Chase DeLander is good, but it's Colorado.
I would still take
in
Petty
Colorado.
and DeLander.
But he looks so much like Garrett Cole to me. It's pretty hilarious.
When they come up, I would take Petty and DeLander personally.
If they come up in your 12 teamers,
yeah,
okay.
I'd give him a shot.
Give him a shot. All right, fair enough. I wonder how good the breaking ball is with DeLander. Do we see a really good one?
I think towards the end he threw one.
Let's see here. 0-1. Oh yeah, that's this curveball though. I generally love seeing a slider. Here we go. I want to see this one. So we have that's the slider first, and he does it again at 1-0. This is Chase DeLander. Let's see what we get. Yeah, totally the slider there at 95. And also 94, 95, not the 96, 97, right? And that's a hanger curveball. Do you strike him out with a? No, you don't. Okay. All right, that's Chase DeLander. I'm not as impressed. I don't really want to go for Kate Hornhouse. It's going to be a while. Bubba Chandler is someone that is very calm and collected. I mean, again, like we're talking about the straightness of this. Even on the delivery, look at the flat back and how it's going straight down. And that leg kick coming across is totally fine. It's not twisting and turning, especially with the glove. The glove's coming back as opposed to out. And I always love back than out. And it keeps you straighter.
Definitely one of the high-end prospect arms coming into the year.
Yeah, easily. Sproat is very interesting. I think actually I like him more than Petty and DeLander, honestly, when he gets regular innings, because I think the floor is good. I think what he brings is this is a solid approach, and I think that's good. Andrew Painter, I think, is overrated, but he's going to be solid too. You want to pick him up when he gets his chance, guys. Just do that. And last one is Andrew Morris. What was him again? What was this deal?
It was Twins. He had a really good season in the upper minors. Probably gets a chance this year, but he was not one of the higher end guys. He was just a guy I threw in to say, "Hey, Nick, here's a new guy."
All right, there you go. All right, that is it. We're done watching pitchers. Oh my gosh, did you have fun? I had fun. Did you have a good time? Trevor Hooth, thank you so much for putting this together. I feel like I know more about prospects now. Moises Chase, my gosh, let's go.
I'm just proud. We went from you not knowing who like Casey Mize and Tarek Skubal were as prospects to now I have to throw in these guys who may not really help you in 2025 redraft leagues, but got to show you something new. Otherwise, it gets boring.
Oh, of course, you absolutely need to. It was also good to see more of a couple other guys too. Good to see Tink Hens in there. Get a good reminder. Jackson Job, like, right, you are really good. This is cool. Trevor, tell everybody what you're going to be doing this year.
Yeah, for sure. I have a podcast right here on the Pitcher List Podcast Network called Coffee Talk. I host that with Nate Kosher. We focus on guys who are getting their cups of coffee, the very end of redraft leagues, the end of the bench spots on redraft leagues. A lot of fun. Nate's great, and we have a good time. And I'm also doing some dynasty rankings over at Fantrax, so you can keep up on that. We just released our top. Myself and Wes Hughes released the top 600.
Oh man,
prospects. It's a lot of prospects. So we got some stuff going on over there too.
Oh, fantastic, Trevor! It's great to have you back here, and lovely seeing you. Thank you again for setting this up with all this videos. Super helpful.
Always love doing this
again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.